All right, good morning, everyone. It is Thursday, April 29th, 2021, and we're going to get started with our pre-market analysis here. I just want to remind everyone that we do have our study session today at 9 a.m. Pacific. So be there, be square. It will be recorded for anyone that doesn't make it. And for anyone that is on the free trial for the trade room, you do have access to the member area where we have the last 5 study sessions, which, like I said in the chat room, they're all pretty much their own webinars in and of themselves, with a lot of really valuable trading information. So don't miss out on that. That's a good 5 to 6 hours worth of very important trading information. So check that out, and we'll get started here. We'll go to our jump to our high time frames once again because we've pushed to a new all-time high. So let's take a look here. And just seeing if my quarterly has changed, and of course still looks extremely bullish with no indications of pullback. Same thing on the monthly, looking very bullish with no indications of exhaustion in the market. Same thing on the weekly, and now remember yesterday I said we were starting to potentially maybe flatten out here. Now you can see we're pushing to higher, and so things still look really, really strong, bullish with no indications of exhaustion in the market on the weekly. And then on the daily, remember we did have that indication of some exhaustion back just a few days ago. We did have a small 20-point sell-off from there, and since then we've recovered again. And so from a divergence perspective, really no indication of exhaustion. So let's jump up to down to our 4-hour here and just see if we're getting any indications coming into this morning. And currently no signs of exhaustion from a 4-hour perspective. At the same time, we don't have any clear bull divergences to go off of outside of the one that we saw yesterday when that closed at 11. So I don't know if we potentially could have been looking at this back when the 3, yeah, we probably didn't. So it looks like on, what was that? The end of the 27th, we got a pretty clear bull divergence, and we made a low at, let's see, 66.75. So ever since we got this bullish indication, and I'll go ahead and mark it right there, we have not come back from that low, and now we are up, let's see, almost 40 points from there. But so far on the 4-hour, no real signs of exhaustion here. Everything just looks really strong. We are trying to push and hold up above the 60 on RVI, which is a bullish indication here. And it looks like the current 4-hour bar is having a little trouble pushing here, so we could have what will be a reversal kind of looking bar here on the 4-hour when this closes in a half hour or in about an hour, but we'll have to see. But so far the 4 hours not really showing anything to indicate a move at the current moment. So we have to dial down to our shorter time frames here to see what they're telling us. And from an hourly perspective here, we have a nice bullish indication in the overnight. So we had kind of a double bottom situation, and then we got this really clear exotic divergence off of that low that we made somewhere just before midnight Pacific time. And so we started pushing, and then we got a little bit of a sign of exhaustion and even had a decent reversal candle there. But they just continued to push, and we kind of got this situation where we're getting some exhaustion on our hourly. We didn't see it on the 4-hour, but on the hourly we're getting a bit of exhaustion as we push to these new all-time highs. So not too unexpected. As we push, we can expect there to be some exhaustion and some pullback. And so we will have to monitor this morning, and we'll look at, let's see, the low 41.98. So 41.98 is going to be an important level there to watch to see if we can hold. So let me go ahead and just mark that on this. hourly chart. And so outside of seeing a bit of exhaustion right now on the 1 hour, there's not much else going on. We do have some bullish indications off 98, which looks like it was, let's see. Yeah, no, it's not the overnight low. Overnight low is all the way back here. So far looking bullish on all time frames, except the 1 hour is showing a little bit of exhaustion as we push to higher highs. Won't be surprising if the 30-minute also agrees with that. Now I am noticing that we also do have, let's see if just confirm that's 98 and that's 90. Yeah, so we do also have somewhat of a bullish exotic divergence there off that 98 low that we made right before the midnight on the 30-minute. So it's confirming on the 30-minute there. And then as we push to, at least when we push to the all-time high in the overnight, which was right around 42.07, we got a little bit of exhaustion there on the 30-minute. But then when we pushed to the next high, which was just a few ticks higher at 07.75, we came up and we pushed to make a new high in comparison to that previous swing. So I don't see anything. And then now we pushed just a few ticks higher and we got a bit more exhaustion. So we're going to have to watch this. That 98 level is going to be an important level to see if the bulls will defend there if we do get a deeper pullback. And so we'll have to jump to the short time frames here to see kind of if it's giving us any more information. So again, we have pretty much the same situation going on right around midnight Pacific last night here with some bullishness. And so let's see, we got 98 to 98 and a pretty clear exotic divergence again on the 10-minute. Now it has led to this just about a 10-point push. So although we have 1 hour, 30-minute, and 10-minute, we did get 10 points up. So sometimes that might be all you get. Ideally, with a 60-minute and a 30-minute confirmation, you're going to get a bigger move. So we can expect a bigger move here, but we are getting a little bit of exhaustion off of these highs as we kind of inch a little bit higher here. Just a point. Let's see, we went 07 to 07.75 to 08.50. So just a few ticks on each push. And again, a little bit of exhaustion on this 10-minute at the new all-time high here. So let's kind of zoom out real quick and just review everything. So no signs of exhaustion when you look at the high time frame. So that's key. Remember that for the last few weeks, I've been saying that every time we push, although we have some exhaustion on our short time frames, when you look to our high time frames, there's no indication that we're going to have some huge sell-off or anything like that. So we need to keep in mind that although we have some bearish signals off highs, we're not expecting to short this market for 100 points or something. So the daily, again, does not show any signs of exhaustion. Neither does the 4 hour. So pretty much our high time frame and super high time frames do not have any indications of exhaustion. It's just when we get to our 60-minute and below. So what that could mean is just a slightly deeper pullback here, but we need to keep in mind that exhaustion patterns in strong bull pushes sometimes only lead to something like this, a pullback from 08 to 03, just a 5-point pullback, and then it continues, and the other signals then develop, and then ultimately we get more bullish signals. So okay, so I just wanted to dial back. I'm sorry, I started late. I had some other things I'm looking at, but I do want to jump back here, and I want to look at something that I'm seeing on my 30-minute and my 10-minute, and then let me just see if I'm seeing the same thing here on the 60. So I'm not seeing it on the 60, but I do want to bring this up here. So on the 30-minute, if you look at RVI, We pushed down to make a lower low here on price, but the RVI stayed pretty much flat. So we do have this bullish indication, which I'll go ahead and mark here on the 30-minute, right around the close around 5:30 Pacific. And when you go to the 10-minute, you also have the same situation, but you're looking back to this previous low. So we made this double bottom here right around 0275. It might even be 03 even, so right around 03. But from the RVI perspective, from this peak here, we actually pushed up. So we have some decent bullish signals off of 03 and then off of that 41.98 area. So these are two levels that we're going to watch coming into the open to see if the bulls can defend for a continued push higher. So again, let me mark that right there. And then I'm just kind of curious to jump down to the 3-minute, which, remember, the 3-minute is really just giving us some short time frame signals for maybe 5 or 10 point pushes and nothing more. Now I am noticing the same thing here off of that 03 level, where we have a push down from there to there, kind of like on the 10-minute, but the RVI again stayed flat. And so we have some decent bullish indications off of 03 from a 3-minute, 10-minute, and 30-minute perspective. And then when you dial back to the 60-minute, you also get the confirmation of that bullishness off of 98. So we're going to continue with our bullish bias this morning, but we need to understand that 98 and ideally 03 need to hold here.